Have you ever thought about, hey, I think that I might want to start sewing one day? I don't know what kind of tools that I need to get. I don't know what I need to have. Well, this video, we're going to go over all of the tools, all of the things that you might need to get yourself started. Right here, we've got some scissors that I have acquired over time. There's small ones. There's rotary cutters, which are also fun. There's also snips here. They're spring loaded, so you can do fast cuts, snip, snip, just like that. And they also have a little hole where you can put your finger, so that's also convenient as well. Now, also, there are these things called pinking shears, and they have these little teeth on there. Yeah, you can also get a blade for a rotary cutter, so that's also pretty cool. But the coupe de grace, my prized possession, are my fabric shears, and I did pay a pretty penny for these, and they're for fabric only, so yeah. If you want to sew, you've got to have a needle, so there's a lot of different options out there. I acquired some just randomly, but most sewing kits come with one or two. You can get self-threading needles like these. They have a different way of getting threaded. There's assorted needles like that. Other random sizes of needles as well. Like I said, most sewing kits come with one or two. These are sewing machine needles, which are different than ones you use for hand sewing. These are self-threading needles. These, you just put the thread on the end and then you don't even have to worry about threading it, so they're pretty nice. Different needles are needed for different materials, so whenever you buy them, you just want to pay attention to that. If you're going to sew, you're also going to need thread because that's kind of what goes in the process. So there's all different types of thread, and there's all the colors of the rainbow. This first particular thread is 100% cotton, and it's a Gutermann. I know I'm probably saying that wrong, but that's 100% cotton. My preference is a cotton poly blend. This is Coats and Clark thread. I just have more success with it myself. And then this one is 100% rayon, and it's cool. It's got the colors, so it's pretty fun as well. But different threads are going to react in different ways, just like the needles, so just play around with that. Another thing that's helpful if you're going to be sewing is to have pins and clips to hold your material in place. Most sewing kits will come with straight pins, and some of them will come with this little thing that looks like a tomato. It's like a pin cushion. And I have a little cushy that I made that has a magnet on top. But they also make these things that are clips. And, I've seen people use binder clips before, but these, I got them off Amazon. They were pretty cheap. Here I am trying to pick one up, and it just decided to yeet all over the table. So, okay. But yeah, these are Wonder Clips. That's the name brand of them. The ones I have are not the name brand. There's something generic, but they do the same thing. But they're spring loaded as well. They really help to hold your materials together. More so if you're using them on the ends, which is more so what I would use them for. But say if you're doing tailoring and things like that, you probably want to use more straight pins, to be honest. But somebody said one day that they look like Jolly Ranchers in my little basket, but I was like, all right, cool. Now, when you're sewing, you're gonna make a mistake. Just trust me on this. You're not gonna be perfect. Hell, even the most experienced sewing people, whoever, they make mistakes. So to fix those mistakes, there's a thing called a seam ripper. They usually come with a little cover because there is a pointy end on there. I'm zooming in. There's a pointy end, and then there's a ball end on it as well. And, if you want to see some detailed videos about these tools, just let me know in the comments. Now, another thing that's kind of non-negotiable, but you might not need it in the beginning, but it'll be helpful in your journey, is going to be marking tools. These pens are actually my favorite. These pens I got off of Amazon again, and they have an ink inside of them that it disappears when you iron it. So it's a heat disappearing ink, so it's pretty cool. You want to test this on the fabric that you're working with before you just go balls to the wall with it. Refills are very easy to change, so that's pretty cool. Usually if you get like a generic, like normal kind of sewing kit, it's just gonna have this water soluble marking pencil, and that is quite okay to use. The only thing, of course, you would come into an issue is if you use the white pencil on white fabric. If you're going to be sewing, it's going to be helpful for you to have an iron. Now, most people have an iron, but for instance, if you don't, I have a little mini iron. And this little baby iron I got it for $12 at Walmart. I have used it so much. It's so convenient because it has a small footprint, which is what I need because I don't have a lot of space, but any size iron is fine. It has a little reservoir where you can put water in it, and it even comes with a little cup that shows you the maximum amount of water that you can put into it so that you don't overflow and just have water like spewing everywhere, because nobody wants that. Now, if you're gonna iron, you need to have somewhere to iron on, right? This is an ironing board that I made. I just actually used some scrap fabric that I had, and it's got 2 layers of towels, just some old towels underneath, and I attached all of this onto a piece of board that I had with some staples. But again, any kind of ironing board, you just want to make sure that your surface is protected from heat so that nothing warps. Now, another thing that's going to be helpful to have is you want to be able to measure what you're doing. So here's some measuring tools that I use. Most sewing kits have something like this, just the tape, and then I also have a little ruler that I got from the Dollar Tree. So the little tape has inches on one side, and if you flip it over on the other side, it's got millimeters. But normally they're about 60 inches long, which is plenty long enough. And that is just fine if that is what you have to use. You don't need any kind of fancy things to measure with. Like I said, this Dollar Tree ruler works for like small projects as well, and it's got inches and millimeters on it. Also have the acrylic rulers, the square ones. They come in an array of different sizes, and I actually got a set of these on sale at a local craft store because I'm all about getting it on sale. But yeah, one other tool that you may see in your sewing kit, like say that you do get a sewing kit, you'll see something called a thimble. Now, me personally, I have thimbles because I've acquired, again, lots of sewing tools over time, but I don't do a lot of hand sewing, so I don't really use them at all. But I do have options in case the need arises, but most of them come with one that's like this. It's just a normal metal one, and you can just use that to push the needle through. Like say you're sewing something thick and you need the needle to go through it through multiple layers, and you need help getting it through. It's so it doesn't, poke your fingers. Yeah, so that is my list of starter sewing tools and sewing things that you would need to get going. I'm sure I missed some things, and leave a comment down below if there's something that you feel like I missed. Maybe I can make another video, follow up with it. If you made it this far, I appreciate you very, very much. We'll get some more sewing projects going. Thank you for joining me on this video, and I will see you next time.